What's up, guys? Gonna start doing a video on a new project I got here. Wasn't really planning on getting this. Went out to go buy a square body ramp truck that I'm using the frame for my C50 build. But the guy selling it also said he had this IROC sitting underneath the cover. So go ahead and show you a picture of what it looked like. And then I really didn't think anything of it. He said, oh yeah, you know, it's IROC. I kind of peeked underneath the tarp a little bit. Looked fairly decent. Started walking back, looking over the ramp truck. And then he told me the price on it. And I said, may as well go ahead and get it. All right, so now I'll do a walk around of the car and tell you what we'll start working on it. All right, so here it is. As you can tell, I have some US Mag 20-inch front wheels on it. I did have some stock IROC wheels on the front, which I've got over there in the corner. But tires were shot, so I had these, which I'm eventually going to put on the 57 wagon. Put them on just as rollers. This front brake caliper is locked up, so got to get that fixed. It has racing tires out on the back. It's got a lot of dust on it, and it was last registered in 2007. So we're talking just about 16 years now that it's been off the road. The dust definitely shows it. They did have the car, the interior is taken apart. Anyone that knows these third gens know that the T-tops leak like crazy. To start doing some floor patches. I'm gonna get all this cleared out and then start working on it. But all in all, it's a really solid car. It is a IROC 85, has the IROC hood, does not have the slots for it, so I've got to get those. Missing the lower front air dam. Those always get taken off, and there's some cracks on the air dam on this side. This side, paint probably is the worst back here in this corner. It looks like it had been repainted at some time. There's some cracking going on right there. Definitely tolerable for right now. We'll see how it all cleans up. Again, interior, it's got cracked dash, headliners falling down from where it leaked. But the seats actually are in not too bad of a condition. The back seat did have a mouse get into part of it. Where he had it in storage, he had all the seats inside, which helped save those, but a mouse did get into one of them. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got to go ahead and get the gas tank drained on this. He said it's been sitting for so long it smelled like turpentine when they got it fired up. So I'm going to drain the gas tank and then find out what's going on with that brake, get that undone, and start working on the floor pans, get those fixed once we get it running and driving. Also, the back hatch is stuck, so I've got to get everything out and crawl through the back to get that popped open and figure out what's going on with that. All right, so I got the back hatch open, try to get in from the back side of it and pop off the bracket that goes up against there on the back filler panel. Still couldn't get it out, tried twisting it every which way. Ended up having to come around. I unbolted it from the back and then drilled out the lock. Keys I had wouldn't turn it anyways. Well, in looking at it, it's just completely sealed on here. This latch mechanism is seized up, so gonna have to get that off, but was able to get it open, find some stuff in here. Obviously the last license plate here on it was 07, got a Franklin County, Tennessee from 05, and then a Moore County, which is actually where I live in Lynchburg, from 91. So this car is kind of cool. It was originally here. Have some spare headlights, a couple boxes for some brake parts. This, don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up. Did find a O'Reilly's receipt for a fuel pump in 2020. So the guy I got this from more than likely got that fuel pump to get it running. One thing with anyone that knows these Camaros is it's a pain in the butt to change a fuel pump. So a lot of people cut in an access hole up in here, which unfortunately was done on this car. And I say unfortunately because you'll see why in just a second. Come in through this way. So there's some of the rust on the floor, some of the rough spots. Not too bad, but obviously needs to be fixed. But back underneath here, I don't know if you'll be able to see, they really did a good job on hacking this up to access the fuel panel, or the fuel pump. So it's nice that the panel is there. I don't have to cut it out, but I'm gonna have to do some cleaning up. I mean, I don't know what the heck they did there to get it out. I mean, it's a screwdriver, maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna get this carpet out and then show you what it all looks like. All right, so here, I don't know why people do this stuff, but here's the panel. You can see they had some pop rivets in here at some time. I should probably get some gloves on so I don't cut the crap out of myself. It doesn't even look like this is really in there. Give me just a second. All right, now we try this with some gloves on. So this just pops out, and that's what they did. I mean, it works, but come on guys, don't do this to cars. So I'm gonna have to cut out a little bit wider, make a patch panel. Good thing is I've got all the metal working stuff to do it. That fuel pump, the whole assembly has not been replaced, so I'm hoping they just got the little pump and replaced that out. But I'm gonna pop this off. I gotta check the tank, see what the tank looks like, and start draining the tank because it supposedly was turpentine for the fuel. Alright, so these are the parts that come with the fuel pump kit. I got this one from Camaro Central, I believe, because all the other ones on Rock Auto were for the V6. I am going to cut these here and do the quick disconnect with these lines, just to make it easier with the fuel pump access and not have to route all these down. Going to try and leave the electric plug hooked up and see if I can reach that. But it does come with everything, including the fuel pump, the sock for it, the little tube that goes in between there, your clamps, some O-rings, little covers for the fuel pump. So pretty much everything you need. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together real quick, then I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then drop it in the tank. Alright, so here's what it looks like all put together. Got the sock on the bottom, got this little gasket rubber piece that goes in there. There is, I'm trying to find the extra piece. There is a way that you can see how this goes in where it sticks out more down this way with the kind of teardrop shape, and the other side is the circle that fits up on the fuel pump. Got the plastic cover or foam cover on the fuel pump, the short hose that goes from the fuel pump up through the lines, these little crush clamps on there. Make sure those are tight so this doesn't fall off. Normally this is a part where a lot of these fuel pumps fail after time, is it just the fuel just eats through this rubber. But other than that, besides throwing in an O-ring on the top and getting it all put together, and again I'm gonna trim these lines where I trimmed the other one just to make it easy with some quick connects to get it in and out, because again these go bad. I'll be good to go to put in. Alright, and here's the fuel pump with the lines cut. I did just cut them with a cut-off wheel and then filed down the edges. So now I'll be able to go and put on some hose and hose clamps on them. Alright guys, so I was able to get the fuel pump in. I did fight with the lines a little bit. I'm going to clean up, shorten up some of the connections and the hose clamps to make it a little bit easier, but got it in. I was fighting for the life of me. Wasn't getting power to the fuel pump. So I ended up just doing a hard line for a switch. So probably the relay or something's bad. I'll figure that out. But ran a line from the battery to by the steering wheel, and then a line from the gray wire on the fuel pump up to, I can connect it and get power, hear the pump kick on. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to get it fired over. Alright, so don't mind my fuel pump wire, but I can hear the fuel pump kick on.
Smoking a little bit out the back, but she's running. And mind you, I haven't tuned up anything, checked the oil or any of that sort of stuff, but got it running and driving by putting a new fuel pump. Got to look at the wiring, obviously, but she seems to be idling fairly good.